Sure. Thank you, Leanne. Today, we are going to be talking about the graduation requirements and expectations and also etiquette. And joining us today will be Michelle from the Registrar's Office, and I'll let her introduce herself and get started.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michelle Neary. I'm the interim registrar here at Lewis for the fall term and a little bit into the spring term, but hopefully you will all graduate with flying colors at the end of the fall, so you won't be here at the start of the spring. So I just wanted to talk today a little bit about commencement that's coming up. And I think that they have shared with you a document that I put together. It shouldn't be any new information. It's all just an overview of some very important things. So I'm going to show you in a little bit the commencement website. That is really the source of all of this information. So if you forget anything that I say today, you lose the piece of paper, go to this commencement website and all of that information is going to be there for you. So we do have 4 commencement ceremonies coming up at the end of December. So that's December 15th and 16th. It's Friday and Saturday. And you need to go to the commencement ceremony for your college. So if you're a graduate student, you need to go to the graduate ceremony that matches the college that you're in. So you can see there on the screen that the one Friday evening is for graduate students who are in the College of Aviation Science and Technology or in the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. And we've got similar breakdowns then. The other graduate ceremony is Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That's for the students whose majors are in the College of Business or the College of Education and Social Sciences. And we've got that similar breakdown between the colleges for undergraduate students at 1 p.m. on Saturday and then 5 o'clock on Saturday. So graduation for all of those is at the field house. So a couple of things as you think about what you need to do for the day of the commencement ceremony. Definitely students need to arrive 1 hour before the ceremony starts. We have a whole check-in process. We make sure that you have your cap and gown, it's on appropriately. We have you line up in the right spot so that you're going to be in the right place to cross the stage and get your diploma or be recognized for graduating, sorry. So it's really important that you show up at that point. We will start the lineup and procession into the graduation ceremony at about 1/4 till the top of the hour. So that's why we say get there an hour beforehand. We also need to make sure that after you walk across the stage that you do then make your way back to your seat so that you're there and able to celebrate with all the rest of the graduates. That's really important to have everybody focusing on the ceremony and the graduates that are crossing the stage at that point. So we really do ask you to wait and not to leave until the very end of the ceremony when the procession happens or the recession happens and everybody is walking out. So then the last thing that I really wanted to cover is we have 4 very important deadlines that are associated with commencement. The first one that's coming up rather quickly is November 10th. That's the deadline to order your cap and gowns. Again, the link to that is on the commencement website. All you have to pay for is the shipping fee and taxes. So it's going to be, probably under $20 after you put the taxes onto that $14.90. So you definitely need to make sure you do that. Nobody is going to be allowed to walk without a cap and gown. And if you miss that deadline, I've got information here on this document about who you need to contact at Herff Jones. You'll have to pay an expedited fee, and it's just kind of a pain. So if you can get that done by November 10th, that makes it easier for everybody. And the cap and gown also gets sent directly to you instead of you having to pick it up the day of. So the next important deadline is just a few days later on November the 16th. And that is the deadline to make any changes to your legal name. The legal name is what we use on your diploma It's what we use in the commencement booklet. So you want to make sure that you look in the system in terms of what we have as your legal name. And if that needs to be changed, you need to email the registrar's office and also make the change yourself in the self-service banner environment so that that is accurate before we print the booklet and order your diploma. The other thing that you need to really do by that November 16th deadline is to make sure you resolve any holds that are on your account. So that could be a hold because you owe some money to the university and you need to get that paid before that November 16th deadline. There could be other holds as well. So just go into your environment in MyLewis, see what your holds are. It provides information there about who to contact to resolve the hold. So don't delay on that. Get that done by November 16th. The other thing that you can check by November 16th is run your DegreeWorks audit. That is the audit that shows how all the courses you have taken count toward fulfillment of degree requirements. You need to have a status in DegreeWorks that says you're cleared for graduation, or the only thing that we're waiting on is the final grades. And if you're in any other status besides those two statuses, you need to talk to your advisor to get that resolved. And the reason that's important leads into that next deadline. So 4 days later, on November 20th, the tickets for your guests who are attending your commencement ceremony become available. But if you're not cleared for graduation, like I've just talked about, then those tickets are not going to be available for you to download or print. So that's why it's important to get all of that done by that November 16th date. So your tickets will be ready to be released then on the afternoon of November 20th. Graduate students get 7 tickets for guests who attend the ceremony with them. Undergraduate students happen to get 10 tickets. You're going to go into the ticketing system to retrieve those tickets, and you've got until Monday, December the 11th to get that done. Sometimes, but not always, we are able to give out additional tickets in addition to the either 7 for the graduate students or 10 for the undergraduates. It all depends on how many tickets various individuals are using for their guest for the ceremonies. So if you think you need additional tickets for your guest beyond the 7 or the 10, then when you're in the ticketing system, you can put in a request kind of for a wait list for extra tickets. That request has to be in by December 4th at 5 p.m. And then if we have any extra tickets to give out, we'll be contacting you after that to let you know how many you can pick up. And then that final deadline comes after the graduation ceremonies. It's the December 22nd deadline, just to make sure that you have an appropriate address on file. This is so that we can mail the diploma to you. We only mail to domestically within the United States. So if you have an international address, we are not able to mail it internationally. Instead, you may want to let us know that you want your diploma sent to the registrar's office, and then you could come in and pick it up. So that I know was a lot of information, but I think the thing that I really want you to take away from here is the 4 different deadlines. Make sure you're on top of that so that you're in the system and there's no issues getting tickets or anything like that, or being cleared for graduation. And then, of course, just making sure that you know which ceremony you're supposed to come to, and that you are supposed to arrive an hour before the ceremony starts. I do want to quickly show you that commencement site that I mentioned that has all of this information. So let me share my screen. Okay, and here is the commencement site. So as you can see along the left-hand side, You can go to specific information about ordering the cap and gown or the graduation tickets. There's just tons of information here. I encourage you to look through that. And then, of course, here in the main area, it really does give the overview, like we already talked about, of the 4 different ceremonies. So this is your source for all information. If anything changes, we update it here. But I think at this point, things are pretty stable since we're just a couple of months out from commencement. So does anybody have any questions that I can address?
Michelle, I was just going to ask if you could explain to the students a little bit, because we get questions about this sometime, the difference between commencement and graduation and what those 2 terminologies mean.
Yeah, definitely. So commencement is the actual ceremony, these 4 ceremonies that we're talking about, where, you know, family and friends gather, you cross the stage, it's all very celebratory. Graduation is when you actually successfully complete all your requirements for the degree. So, you know, it's very possible that somebody goes through the commencement ceremony, but let's say at the very last moment, they got an incomplete in a course for the fall term that they're in right now. You know, circumstances happened, they weren't able to complete the course, so they've got an incomplete on their record. You know, you're still eligible to go through commencement at that point, but until that incomplete gets removed and you have an actual grade that fulfills the requirement and everything's done for the degree, you don't actually graduate. So hopefully that helps with the distinction between the 2 things. And I guess I would also just add the actual graduation date that shows on your transcript and on your diploma will be December 22nd. That is our official conferral date for the fall term. So even though you go through the ceremony on either December 15th or 16th, the conferral date is the December 22nd. So anybody asking what your official graduation date is, that's December 22nd.
Thank you for that, Michelle. I'm just going to jump in real quick here and add some important information for students. Please make sure that you students are looking at your final grades. It is extremely important for you to make sure that you, in fact, have graduated. We've had a couple students in the past who didn't look at their grades until after their CVIS end date had passed, and then it becomes very difficult moving forward on what to do next. So hopefully everyone has no problems graduating. They complete all of their courses successfully and their GPA is where it needs to be. If you find out that something happened, you need to contact our office immediately, because if it's past December 22nd, it's very difficult for us to be able to help you in an easy way. So the end date on your I-20 will be December 22nd. Some of you have already applied for OPT, so that you already have seen that reflected. But for everyone who is graduating in December, that is the program end date. Now, the original I-20 that you have might show something else. That does not mean that you get to stay indefinitely till July of 2024, for example. If you finish your program, and hopefully this is just like review basic information that everyone's like, yeah, Angie, I know, but it is important because sometimes people have the misconception that they can stay to the date that is on the original I-20, and that is not correct. So if you do not apply for OPT, practical training, after your program end date. So you have up to 60 days to apply for that after December 22nd. If you do not decide to apply for OPT, you have 60 days beyond your program end date. So that is February 21st, 22nd, that you would have to stay in the US until you needed to return home. So hopefully that is clear to everyone. I just want to say again and again, and we'll remind you again before this session closes, that you must pay attention to your final grades. You must confirm that everything is good. And if something is not good, contact our ISGSS email. I'll drop it in the chat again, just so you have it handy, but please contact us immediately if there's a problem with your final grades so that we can assist you and you don't fall out of status.
And it looks like,
Oh,
it looks
sorry,
like
go
there's
ahead.
question in the chat about whether you get the certificate on the day of the ceremony. So if you're talking about the diploma or the certificate for the credential you are completing, you do not get that the day of the ceremony. That's the diploma or certificate that gets mailed to you approximately 6 to 8 weeks after the ceremony. That's why we ask for your address that you need it to be mailed to be updated and accurate by December 22nd.
Thank you. I do have a question that some of the students may have. During the ceremony, how will like the pictures, I know there will be official photographers during the ceremony. How and when can the students like get their pictures if they're interested in getting their pictures? Will it be mailed to them? Will they purchase it? How would that go?
That is a really good question that I do not know the answer to. I'm guessing that the information from the vendor that takes the pictures, they will likely reach out to the emails that we provide them for the students, and they'll probably send them the information that, you know, here are your pictures, you can view them, here's the order form, and they can place an order for the pictures. But I can get some more information about that, and we can send it out to the listserv.
Yep. And then someone asked if tickets are for free.
That is correct. You do not pay for the either 7 tickets as a graduate student or the 10 tickets as an undergraduate. They are free. And even if you need and request additional tickets and get those, they do not have a charge associated with them either.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Along those lines with the pictures, I also wanted to mention a few things about how the ceremony at a U.S. Graduation and commencement ceremony works. It's very important to be respectful to everyone that's involved by staying in your seats and quietly until the ceremony is completed. So one thing that has happened in the past with students at Lewis and at other places is that students will be taking selfies or talking a lot during the ceremonies, and it can be U.S. students or international students. It's just that's disruptive and disrespectful to the people who are participating, and they can't hear their person's name called. So what happens is the information will be read. So the president and other individuals from Lewis University will be giving speeches at the beginning, and then each student's name will be read. They will cross the stage, receive their diploma cover, and then they'll go across. So after they cross, they should go back to their seat and remain there quietly until everybody has gone through that. That's out of respect to everybody else, because if you cross and you're making a lot of noise with your family or your friends, then other people cannot enjoy that opportunity to see the person that they love cross the stage and receive their diploma cover as well. So please be mindful of that. It is very important, and it shows respect for the system of the U.S. education system, but also for the other people, your classmates around you, who deserve a chance to be heard and seen as well. I know that many of you will be wanting to take pictures with your family and your friends who will be attending your ceremony, and you can do that after everything is completed. So there's a time in the ceremony where you have your cap, and you have like the tassel on the cap, and you actually move it to the other side. That is kind of concluding the fact that you are graduating. And after that time, there will be a few more closing remarks. And after that is when you can go meet your family, go behind, take pictures, and all of that. So I just really want to make sure that everybody understands, especially culturally from an American standpoint, it's extremely important to respectfully wait until everybody crosses the stage so that they can have their time there too. If anyone has any questions about that, or you do it differently in your country, I'm happy to have a conversation. I think it's happened before, so I know that there's probably some cultural differences there, but I just want to reiterate how important it is in our culture.
Thanks, Angie. I'm answering some of the questions that students have. It's actually like really good questions. Jaram was asking if he's graduating in December, and then he's looking to apply for a grad program at a different school. Does that mean that he needs a new I-20 and cannot stay in the US? Students that are graduating in December and are not applying for post-completion OPT has that 60-day grace period to make plans, whether they're transferring schools or leaving the US or changing to another visa. So that's 60 days from December 22nd. And then a student also asks, Saifullah Muhammad asks if he can get the cap and gown directly from the college, like in person.
No, caps and gowns have to be ordered from the site that's there in the commencement website. Let me go ahead and share the screen again really quick. So if you go to this commencement website that we were on earlier, everybody can, yeah, it looks like everybody can see it. And you go over here on the left to the ordering caps and gowns. This is where you need to be. You click on this button, it will take you into kind of the Lewis area of the Herff Jones website. Herff Jones is the vendor for the cap and gown. So once you get in there, it should be obvious exactly where you need to go to place the order and so forth.
Mohammed Amir Sharif was asking if he can, for some reason, he can't clear his records. Can he extend or maybe like change the graduation ceremony?
Well, the ceremony still happens, right? For everybody who is graduating. If you are not able to complete all of your degree requirements by the end of this fall term, then you need to speak with your advisor about what your plan is. If you still need to take classes in the spring, we can withdraw your name from the December graduation. And then if you're going to finish your coursework in the spring term, then you can graduate, put yourself on the graduation list for May of 2024. So yes, that we can definitely do that. Then you would not be attending the ceremony in December, but instead you would wait and attend the commencement ceremony in May.
I'll just jump in to kind of continue on what Michelle was saying from your visa standpoint. It is still very important that you maintain your visa status. So if you are having problems and you don't think you're going to graduate, you need to make sure that you contact our office and that you can stay in your visa status, because if you drop below your course load and it's actually not your final semester, you might have an issue with your visa. So make sure, if you think that you might be having some problems, we cannot just extend an I-20 indefinitely just because you want to like stay longer. That's one rule that DSOs in our office cannot do. But if you talk to us and let us know your situation, we will try to help you the best that you can so you can make the most appropriate decision on your coursework, on your graduation, and also on your visa status.
A student was asking about the fee for the cap and gowns. I'm not 100% sure, but he says that some are for free and some are $30.
The only fee that a Lewis student should have to pay is the shipping and handling and taxes. And I think shipping and handling is $14.90. Then you add the tax to that. So I haven't looked at the site, but even if it says it's $30, you should not have to pay for the cap and gown if you order through the Lewis link there on the commencement website, because the university covers the cost of the cap and gown for you. We just ask you, the student, to pay the shipping and handling and taxes.
Gotcha. And then he also asked, wait, it is okay. He said, what if they settled or paid their fees after like November 25th? Are they still eligible for the free tickets?
If there are still tickets left at that point, because when those tickets don't get picked up, then we're going to start distributing them to other students. So that's why it's really important to resolve the holds, make sure everything is cleared by that November 16th deadline so that we, everything is set when we open up the ticketing system on November the 20th.
Thanks.
And the other important thing I think to add is that if you're not eligible by that November 16th date, your name may not be in the commencement booklet because we have to go to print right after that date. So that's why that November 16th date is really key.
Thank you. And then I also wanted to add for students that are in this session that weren't able to get the document that Michelle shared earlier with all the important dates, you can send us an email and we'd be happy to share it with everyone else. And we'll also be sending constant reminders for students about these deadlines. Again, I just wanted to put in some additional important reminders for everyone here on the call. One is to double check the mailing address of your diploma. Make sure if you don't have a permanent address here in the US, you can put in someone that you trust, someone you know, a family or friend that you can just pick up your diploma after, or you can always pick it up here in school. Second is to make sure to settle all your outstanding balances. You will not receive your graduation tickets if you do not resolve your holds. Third is also very, very important to come on time during your scheduled ceremony. It is recommended to come at least an hour early to prepare, get everything settled, have your guests settle down in their seats, and have everything ready before your ceremony starts. And then fourth is after your name is called on stage, it is expected to return to your seat for the remainder of the ceremony. And then any questions about the ceremony, about your graduation, your international student records, you can send us an email, or you can send an email to the registrar's office for graduation ceremony questions. We'll drop in our emails on the chat below. Eligibility criteria depends upon paying fee and grades. Yes, you have to have no holds on your account, and you should be able to complete or don't fail your classes in order to graduate and attend the ceremony. This is actually a good question, I think, Michelle. Will there be any refreshments provided? I just want to make sure I come prepared for the family.
It's my understanding that there's going to be some light refreshments that individuals can purchase at the ceremony. I don't know exactly what that means in terms of what's available in terms of food or drink, but there should be something.
For Saifullah Muhammad's question, please email us about that, our ISGSS at lewisu.edu. If you have any questions about changing your date. I will say if you are finishing your program requirements and you're finished with everything that you need to do for your studies on December 22nd, you may not change your graduation ceremony, your commencement ceremony to May. It has to be December or nothing at all, because it's just impossible to make those kinds of one-off requests. It's too much of, it just doesn't work. So if you are finishing your requirements in May, you must attend the ceremony in December, you must attend the December ceremony. But you can email us and we can explain some more.
Ajay said he was charged $231 while he ordered for cap and gown.
Yeah, he should not have been. So I would encourage you to write to the registrar at lewisu.edu. Provide us maybe the screenshot if you still have it, or some information about the order you placed, and we'll try to follow up with the vendor.
Thank you.
Deep, could you explain what the whole package is? Okay, and AJ, if
Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
ING. Yeah. So I think there are several graduation packages available. Like you could order like a
I see.
diploma certificate, and like I think that is the one that is $160. So I think he must have ordered that with the
Okay.
diploma certificate, so which is why it should be so expensive.
Yeah, because if you're
Yeah.
ordering more things than just a cap and gown, then yes, you're
Yeah.
going to have to pay for that. But Lewis
Right.
University will pay for just the basic cap and gown.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that
Yep,
because
sure.
we would
Thank
not
you.
have known
No
that.
worries.
Thank you, Deep.
Yeah, it's okay.
If any of you have questions, you can unmute and ask them or even type it in the chat.
I just want to let everyone know, we don't have to go until 11 o'clock today. We're open for questions about the ceremony, so you can type it in the chat and then we can wrap it out in a few minutes.
There's another question asking, can I pay my fee in December? Will I be allowed to the ceremony? I don't think so because this is for the, well, I don't know, actually. Michelle might know more than me.
Well, it depends on what fee you're talking about. If it's tuition and fees that are owed to the university based on the coursework that you're currently taking, that all has to be paid before we're going to release tickets for the ceremony. If it's a different fee that you're talking about, please explain what it is and we'll try to address that.
The tuition fee.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that needs to be paid by that November 16th deadline so that when the tickets open on November 20th, your record is clear, it doesn't have any holds, and the tickets will be released to you at that point.
It should be all tuition, like outstanding balance, right?
Yep, any outstanding balance with
Yes.
the bursar's office or student accounts, whatever you're referring to it as. Yeah, it all has to be paid.
That would include the insurance fee because that's part of your student fees. So that, yes, anything that you have a balance for on your account that is billed through Lewis would need to be reconciled.
Amir Sharif was asking if why don't we have any options to extend the graduation ceremony? This is because one, the volume of students that we have at Lewis, you are only invited to attend the ceremony and the ceremony that on the date that you've graduated in. If you graduated in December, you are not invited to the May ceremony. It goes back the same to the students that are graduating in May. They cannot attend the December ceremony. And yes, the ceremony is optional. Murad Badri was asking on the chat and I just answered it and I figured sharing with everyone else here too. The ceremony is optional. It's not mandatory for you to attend the ceremony. If you cannot make it, that's totally fine.
And I guess that's another good distinction between commencement and graduation, right? You don't have to attend commencement because that's just the ceremony. But if you've completed all your degree requirements, you will still graduate with that December 22nd date on your diploma and your transcript.
Someone asked, I'm trying to find it, but I saw someone ask, during the ceremony, they will not be like giving out the actual diploma, they will be giving out the covers, correct?
That is correct.
So it will be blank.
Yeah, the diploma itself is what arrives 6 to 8 weeks after the commencement ceremony. And to respond to the individual asking about whether the graduating student needs a ticket, the graduating student does not need a ticket. It's just your family and friends who are attending as guests that need the ticket.
Any more questions from the students, or Angie or Michelle, any more important reminders that you would like to share?
I would just like to wish the entire group congratulations. This is quite the accomplishment, a very exciting time. And I said, hang in there for the next few weeks, right? And get all the work done that has to be completed so everything's ready for commencement.
Yes, please make sure you finish your final exams on time. Don't wait till the last minute. Please don't. I had a couple students doing that a couple semesters ago and it didn't work out well for them. So make sure that you turn everything in on time, and good luck and congratulations, everybody.